co-creators of Notebook. We've been on a really fun ride the last 6 or 7 months, and we've got a lot of stuff coming out right now, some of which I'm going to show you. Let me just get a quick show of hands. Like, how many people are familiar with NotebookLM? Okay, that's great. Boy, that would have been very different a year ago. So just to give you a quick sense of like what we are, what we do, we're part of Google Labs. We're now out in 180 different countries around the world. We think of ourselves as a tool for understanding things. That's kind of the way we describe it. You upload the documents that matter to you, that are the work you're working on, the research you're doing, the syllabus you're teaching. And Notebook uses the power of Gemini 2.0, the thinking model, our latest, most powerful model, to help you make sense of whatever you're wrestling with, to give you ideas, to help you brainstorm, to help you learn, to help you extract key insights. We kind of famously can also turn your documents into audio overviews so that you can listen to them in the form of a podcast, coming soon to many different languages around the world, a very highly sought after feature. We've got 15,000 active EDU accounts, domains that are using it right now. As of last week, we're a core service for EDU, which is a big deal if you understand those kind of behind the scenes things. We're 18 plus in terms of age for now. Stay tuned on that. The key thing to understand for those of you who haven't spent any time with NotebookLM is that we've really designed the whole thing around prioritizing the original knowledge and wisdom and insights of authors and publishers and textbooks. So it's not just about putting information into the training data of the model, but actually grounding and exposing the original insights from human authored texts. This is one of the reasons why we had an author at the beginning of the project to kind of bring that emphasis to what Notebook does. As you'll see, we do something called source grounding. So we're focusing the model on whatever sources you give it. We have a very advanced citation system, which I can show you in 1 second. We have a built-in reader so that you can always read the original sources that you've submitted or that the user has submitted. So the whole thing is designed to keep track of that original knowledge and not just talk to a general purpose chatbot. So I want to jump into a demo. Normally I love to do live demos here, but for some reason there is no Wi-Fi here. I don't totally understand how that's possible. But so unfortunately I've had to like record these demos, which I feel like is just kind of like a little bit lame. But I could be doing a live demo were I connected to the internet. Let me just put it that way. So this is an example of an American history notebook that's been set up using the amazing open source American Yop textbook that I originally got from my friend Betsy, who's in the front row here. And you can see on the left-hand side there, the original source text from a chapter on the Cold War. You can see an overview in Notebook of the textbook that's been uploaded. And then you can basically just kind of ask whatever question you want. So you can say something like, you know, I want to know about the technological impact of the space race. And so Notebook will then, using all the text at its disposal that you've given it in the original sources, it will go through and give you this incredibly detailed answer, really thoughtful, grounded in the facts of the material that you've uploaded as sources. You'll see there are citations there throughout the answer from the model so that you can quickly hover over those citations and see the passage that the model used to come up with the answer. If you click on the citation, it takes you directly to the passage in the original source. You can have up to 25 million words of information easily inside one notebook, and getting to that original passage will be just as fast. It's really an incredible kind of search mechanism as well as an understanding mechanism. So what this means is that you can feel confident in the answers that you're getting from the model. You can check to see whether it's hallucinated. And because you're uploading your own individual sources, you're able to create what is effectively a very personalized AI that's effectively an expert in the information that matters most to you, to your students, to you as a teacher. Now, this is kind of a classic use case which I think comes intuitively to people, which is I want to understand or get a summary or ask a factual question. You could generate an audio overview at this point and listen to a discussion of the space race or the rest of the American history textbook. But it's also really important to understand that Notebook actually allows you to create things as well. It allows you to kind of brainstorm and to use your source collection in really different ways. It's not just as a source of truth. It can also be as a source of inspiration or a set of guidelines you want to use to shape your work. And so there's another quick demo that gives a sense of this. This is an imagined situation where you're a teacher now. You're not a student using a textbook. You're a teacher, and you're trying to use Notebook to put together a syllabus for a class you want to teach on urban planning that's inspired by the work of Jane Jacobs. And so to do that, you gather a couple of kind of major sources that involve Jacobs' work. So maybe it's quotes from her classic book of urban planning, Death and Life of Great American Cities. You can see the original quotes here in this source. Or maybe you found a YouTube interview with the original, the then still alive Jane Jacobs near the end of her life. You can put in a YouTube URL there and we'll grab the transcript for it. But you can also add different kinds of things. So this is the one source here is the framework for high quality project-based learning. So it's a set of guidelines for how to do high quality project-based learning courses and syllabi. So you're going to use that as kind of a different kind of source, not factual truth about Jane Jacobs' work, but actually as a set of guidelines for the course you're trying to build. And you can do things like write down in your own handwriting some random thoughts about how the course should be structured. And you can just scan those and put it in there. Gemini, the underlying model, will understand handwriting, and it'll just interpret the whole thing without you having to translate your handwritten text into typewritten text, right? So now you can ask this kind of instruction. You can say, create a lesson plan for a 4-part project based on the work of Jane Jacobs. Ensure that it's compatible with the framework for HQPBL. Follow my handwritten outline structure. So you're basically asking the model to kind of combine all these different sources into a new document for you. And in about 12 seconds, Notebook will generate a very polished first draft of that lesson plan, synthesizing all the information from all those different sources. This is an incredibly high-level form of knowledge work that is being done here. That's really quite remarkable. And as you see, if you scroll through, it gives you activities. It explains why it's compatible with the HQPBL framework. If you look at the actual sessions, like session number 3 is about like bottom-up planning. If you go back to my original handwritten notes there, you'll see that section 3, students should propose bottom-up planning. So it's interpreted my outline, my handwriting, the guidelines, the original Jane Jacobs notes, and it's given me this amazing first draft. I can now copy this and paste this into Word or into Docs or anything else, or I could actually do a follow-up. I could say, that's great. Now give me a rubric for evaluating the student responses in this class. And it understands, you're talking about the thing you just did, and so it goes through and it creates, like, again, in 10 seconds, a proposed rubric for all the different sessions of the class. It has a nice little tidy little table there, and you're off to the races. So that's the kind of work that you've been able to do in Notebook really for the last 6 months or so. We've just rolled out a couple of really cool new things in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I want to just show you them very quickly. The first one is called mind maps. And this, I'm going to show you a kind of a stylized representation of it. But instead of turning your sources into an audio overview, what if you could create a mind map that shows all the major concepts that are active in the sources you've uploaded, and then allow you to click on any of those concepts and immediately go back into the chat so that you can actually ask a question about the concept, explore it, maybe ask follow-up questions. So I'm hoping this is the right one because there are 2 here. Yes. So we've created a mind map. This is what the mind maps look like. You can zoom in on topics, and then at any point you can click on one of those topics. You go right back to the chat, and it generates a beautiful response for you with citations. You can save that to a note so you can collect all the information as you're moving through this exploration of ideas. This is a genuinely new way to explore complex information. I've never been a big believer in mind maps because on some level you see a picture of the concepts, but there's nothing to do with them. But now every single concept, every node on the map is now the beginning of an actual conversation with the model that will help you understand those ideas, explore them in depth. Finally, one last thing, we're really excited about this. This is just the beginning of a whole new chapter for NotebookLM. We're rolling out this week and next week a new feature we call Discover Sources. So up until now with Notebook, you had to bring your own sources, right? If you did not supply the documents you were working on, there was really nothing to do with Notebook whatsoever. You could take a note by hand, that was it. But now, using the power of Google search and some interesting agentic technologies we've developed, you can just define the topics you're interested in. We send an agent out onto the web. It generates the equivalent of 20 Google searches based on your original explanation. It fans out and collects 200 documents from around the web. It evaluates them based on the initial question, your initial objectives. It picks the 10 best. It annotates those 10 results in the light of your original question. And then with one click, you can add them or add a subset of them to your notebook. And you can generate mind maps, audio overviews. You can ask questions. You can use all the power of Notebook to explore that information. This is what it looks like. Again, in another little stylized video here. Nope, that's mind maps. Here we go. So Discover Sources is up in the upper right left-hand corner. You click on it, describe what you want to learn about, and we go out and create this curated list. You can see those little summaries that are based on your original query. With one click, you add it, and you're ready to go. It creates a really tight, compact bundle of knowledge on any given topic. And most importantly, it allows you to stay with that knowledge and explore it further, dive in deeper, or add to it with future Discover Sources. You can imagine where we're headed with this. We want to make Discover Sources tap into really high quality bodies of information, archives of information. There's a whole world of data out there that's behind paywalls that we would like to allow people to kind of pay for. That's going to be a big push for us in 2025. But Discover Sources should be live for almost all of you within the next few days. Thank you very much.